from KTUL. You're watching Tulsa's Channel 8 News at 6.
The governor declares a state of emergency for all 77 counties. We've seen a wintry mix of sleet and snow throughout the day today, and it's only going to get worse overnight and into tomorrow. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us or sticking with us for the last couple hours for our team coverage of this winter weather event.
We have a number of school closings already. They will be scrolling at the bottom of your screen. They include Tulsa, Bixby, Broken Arrow, Glenpool, Jinx, Owasso, Sapulpa, and Sand Springs. And now we add Union to that list as well.
First on 8 tonight, the best advice for drivers tonight: if you don't have to go out, don't do it. So far, at least 20 car crashes have been reported here in the metro.
And just take a look at what happened at Lake Eufaula on I-40. The semi-truck driver hit a slick spot on a bridge and went across the median. The truck wound up partially submerged. Fortunately, the driver and his passenger were not hurt.
And the driver of this crash walked away unharmed as well. The SUV rolled over on Highway 75 near Apache late this afternoon. You can see the car is pretty banged up, but again, fortunately, no one got hurt. Channel 8 has crews positioned all around northeastern Oklahoma tonight, but first things first, that's your forecast with Jennifer Zeppelin. Jennifer.
Well, this is that much anticipated winter storm that we've been talking about really for days now, and it is here. It is continuing to unleash its fury across the state with the snow, the sleet, and the freezing rain. The boundary still with that mixture is off to the east of us, but here in town with enough cold air in place, we've seen the snow falling now for a pretty good portion of the afternoon and evening, and it's just going to continue to pick up. While we did see a lull in the activity, it is steadily starting to come back down across the metro. From Mike Orange, this is our mobile storm team who has also been out covering the streets today. Heavy snow in Pryor, and it will just keep coming down, not only to the east, north, and south of us, but really for a large portion of the Sooner State. Along Interstate 40, seen things wrapping up at least just to the north, at least along Interstate 44, around Miami to Jay. So things are quieting down there right now, but it's going to start to build back in again. And the reason why I say that is that when you look at the Tulsa Metro, within just the last 15 minutes, the radar has certainly changed once again. We are looking at the snow beginning to pick up. Some heavy to moderate snow showers have developed, especially down to the south of us, right along Interstate 40 from near Chakota to around Henrietta, Okmulgee, and that's where it's still coming down steadily. And then you see that boundary, that line of a mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and snow right along Highway 69 from Eufaula to around Crowder. And then off to the east of there is where that wintry mix will continue, and then that will begin to change and switch over to snow. It's going to be very heavy, especially along that boundary, Interstate 40 to the south. Snow totals right now ranging anywhere from around 2 to maybe up to 8 inches before the system is all said and done. And we will keep tweaking these numbers. But let's go ahead right now and check in with Mike Collier, who is on the weather deck. Mike, what is it like out there?
Well, Jen, I can tell you it's cold. We all know that. But we're also seeing some nice little snowflakes begin to fall right here in the metro region. Visibility is coming back down across downtown, so we're having a little difficult time again seeing the cityscape towers. Now, as we look outside, this is what it's been like on the commute. Jordan Overton sent this video in. This is at 71st and Sheridan. Road crews have been out trying to sand and salt that area, but we've seen numerous cars get stuck and then cause a traffic delay in that region, not only there, but also on Yale as well. So please, if you can, stay at home. Don't travel, especially with this next wave moving in right now. As we experience more snow moving into the city, the streets will remain slick and hazardous. Reporting live from the weather deck, Mike Collier, Tulsa's Channel 8.
Well, Mike, as we can see and have seen pretty much for a good portion of the day, is that it doesn't take much. And with that layer of sleet on the ground and these cold temperatures in place, any more snow that we see is going to pack down and is going to make the road conditions, sidewalks, even the parking lots even more dangerous. We're going to have more on the totals and just how the system and how much it's going to hang out, at least for the next 12 to 24 hours. But we'll show you the impact it will have on the area coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks a lot, Jennifer. Well, back to the road conditions now. Channel 8 photojournalist Brian Klimmer is live streaming in downtown Tulsa.
Yeah, Brian's on the phone right now. Brian, you've been driving around Tulsa all afternoon for several hours. Hopefully you don't run out of gas. What are the road conditions like right now where you're driving?
Right now, they're not too bad. I've been following some sand and salt trucks. They're out, putting it down on the ground. It's not too bad on the roads. When you cross into another lane, you got the little slushy area that kind of might push your tires somewhere else. But other than that, everything's fine. It's a slow go, but that's good because people don't need to be going too fast out here. Just stay slow and you'll be safe out here.
I was just going to ask you, what is your advice to drivers? And you just gave it to us, and that is to slow down out there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
And keep your eye on the road while you're talking on the phone. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Well, in Midtown, as Brian mentioned, it's creep and beep traffic, and it's a good thing, too. It's just too slick to put the pedal to the metal.
Channel 8's Bert Mumolo reports from 51st in Peoria, where drivers are taking it slow. Bert.
They are taking it slow because we talked with one gentleman a little while ago here who was filling up his truck. He said it's getting nasty out there. He was scraping ice from his windshield, and it was getting nasty out there, and it kind of is again right now. This is the first time we're starting to see snowflakes in the area. Up until now, it's been sleet, a lot of that slush on the roadway. People had really started to slow down, and then when it let up just about half hour ago, an hour ago, people got a little overly confident and started picking up their speeds. Thankfully, with this snowfall, people are slowing down, and it seems as if a lot of people got the message to get home earlier, because for this time of day there's remarkably little traffic on I-44. A lot of that traffic are those plows. There's 63 of them out around the city. They aren't doing any actual plowing yet. That starts, they say, when you get accumulations of about an inch and a half. Then they drop those big plows and start moving it off the road. Right now what they're doing are salting all those bridges, those overpasses, trying to keep things as safe as possible. So again, as Brian just said, keep it slow. Reporting live, Bert Mumolo, Tulsa Channel 8.
Thanks a lot, Bert. And of course, the weather is a major concern for flyers trying to get in and out of Tulsa. This is a live look at Tulsa International Airport tonight. We checked their website and discovered that a number of flights in and out of Tulsa have been delayed and several were canceled. So a word of warning, travelers should check online or call ahead. Southeast of Tulsa in Muskogee, slick streets have proven deadly for a 5-year-old boy.
Yeah, the boy's mother was driving and lost control on a bridge. The car rolled down an embankment and the child was ejected. The mother and 2 other kids inside that car were not seriously injured.
A blanket of ice is covering cars and roads in Muskogee tonight.
Channel 8's Ethan Calloway talked with police today and also emergency management. They say it is very slick.
We've seen a couple of accidents here in Muskogee today, and it's just a testament to how bad the road conditions are here today. We've got Corporal Mike Mahan with us with Muskogee Police. Corporal, what are the conditions today? What are you guys seeing?
We are seeing a lot of accidents. We've had in excess of 10 accidents reported today, including the one fatality. Roads are extremely slick. Conditions are not good for travel, and I think our basic recommendation would be if you do not have to get out, just stay home.
Looking ahead to tonight, what's the main concern for people here in Muskogee?
I think the main concern, once again, is just because the roads are deteriorating so rapidly, is if you are going to be out, once again, we caution against that, would be to go very slow and maintain a definitely safe following distance, more than you would on a normal basis. And just to be prepared, you may not be the one that causes an accident, but an accident can happen in front of you, and you may inadvertently become involved in it because you're not traveling at a safe enough distance. You need to allow plenty of time for braking, and once again, just use extreme caution under these conditions.
Corporal, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes,
so
sir.
you heard the main message here tonight. Just stay off the roads if you do not have to be driving. In Muskogee, Ethan Calloway, Tulsa's Channel 8.
All right, thanks, Ethan. As we mentioned earlier, slick roads sent a semi-truck into Lake Eufaula today.
That's just one of several accidents spotted by Channel 8's Charles Ely today. He is live in McAllister with more from emergency management there. Chuck.
It's been an interesting day here in Pittsburgh County. Some of the worst worries about the weather haven't materialized, as bad as it may look. The bridges were icy, but there was concern all the highways would turn to a sheet of ice. That hasn't happened. We're getting some pretty solid pellets of ice and snow, as you see here. They sting, but they're not hurting the driving that much. They're about a half-inch deep. They're really holding up pretty well. They're moist and have some texture, so the driving isn't that bad. Overall, things have gone pretty well here. The people at the County Emergency Operations Center spent the day biting their nails. At this point, they're grateful. They're now just hoping to get through the night and see what happens.
As the temperature drops and the precipitation keeps coming, it's going to get worse. So we're just going to be on standby to see what's needed in case of power outages and whatnot.
Did you feel like you kind of got ahead of this one as far as the preparation is concerned?
Our planning and preparation was much better this time, and all of our agencies are very cooperative. They work really well together, so we have a pretty unified planning in place. So my main concern is power outages. If we start to have power outages, then we have to look at, taking care of the folks that are without power and the low temperatures. So we'll have to look at keeping those folks warm and safe then. So that's our main concern here.
So, Mark and Yvonne, it's looking pretty good here, all things considered. These ice pellets and snow pellets kind of sting a little bit for the folks here in McAllister. It's not a big deal. They say as long as they don't have a sheet of ice bringing down power lines and tree limbs, they can deal with this all day long. Back to you in the studio.
I feel for you, Chuck. Boy, that looks brutal out there with those pellets hitting you like that.
Yeah.
Stay warm. Yeah.
Well, there is another breaking news story we are following. Nelson Mandela has died at the age of 95.
The former president of South Africa had been in poor health for some time now. South Africa's president made the announcement this afternoon saying, "We've lost our greatest son." Mandela spent 27 years in prison before becoming the country's first black president. He was a beloved statesman around the world. Tributes from world leaders are pouring in tonight, and we will have more about Nelson Mandela's passing tonight at 10 o'clock.
Tonight, outside at the BOK Center, a winter storm is brewing.
But inside, it's Margaritaville. Hundreds of parrot heads are in town for the Jimmy Buffett concert, and Channel 8 stopped by the pre-party.
And the next round of snow, rain, sleet, and freezing rain is moving through eastern Oklahoma. We're going to have the latest on the totals and how long the snow is going to stick around.
And welcome back. South of Tulsa, folks spent the day stocking up on supplies before the roads got too bad.
Channel 8's John Laws continues our team coverage in Bixby. He's live with the latest conditions. John.
Yvonne and Mark, it's fortunate for those shoppers who went to get those last-minute supplies at Lowe's Hardware because the precipitation hadn't really started coming down at that point. This was around 11 o'clock, but after that, once it started really starting to accumulate into the early evening, it's been pretty strong. But fortunately, everyone was able to get the supplies they need to hopefully hold them through the weekend.
A kerosene wick for the kerosene heater.
Okay.
Just doing some backup work, so.
I gotcha. So is this kind of an annual thing right when it gets to this time of the year?
Probably so, yeah. Making sure I'm all ready to go. And
just ice melt, take care of the driveway and the walkways at the house just to be safe. When it starts hitting me on the top of the head because there's nothing up there on top of the head, then I need something on the ground. Yeah, that's my sign.
I'm buying the covers for my outside faucets because I don't want them to freeze. I do it every year, but I hadn't done it yet this year. It kind of caught me off guard, so thought I better run out and grab a couple real quick.
Again, it was fortunate for those shoppers to be able to get the supplies they needed sooner because the precipitation, all this sleet over the course of the day has really started to accumulate. You can see it all over the roads. Drivers definitely need to use caution at this point because it's slick, and obviously you just want to try to avoid any hazards. Reporting live in Bixby, I'm John Laws for Tulsa's Channel 8.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, John. Well, the weather has already caused cancellations and postponements, but there will be a concert tonight out of the BOK Center. That is where parrot heads have been gathering since 2 o'clock this afternoon to get the party started. It's all to see Jimmy Buffett, of course. He's performing tonight as scheduled, and his die-hard fans await.
Doesn't matter if it's snow or not. Get out here, see Jimmy Buffett. You gotta love it.
And another reminder to be sure and allow yourself extra time to get to and from that concert.
Now, your forecast in the Oklahoma Ford Storm Center.
Yes, and as we take a look at the roadways, if you are planning on heading to the concert, you definitely want to go slow. This is from our mobile storm team. We've had our crews out today. From Fred Williams driving west up 71st Street Hill at Sheridan, you can see that the roadways are wet and very slick and icy. And then we travel off to the east along Highway 64. Sequoia Quinton, our other storm chaser, is out, and you can see that the roads are becoming impassable and road conditions are deteriorating very quickly. You can see the snowpack, that layer of ice underneath. You add the snow on top, and it's very deceiving because we have very icy, slick road conditions across eastern Oklahoma, not only here in the metro, but really a large portion of green country. HD Max 8000 right now. Well, the radar is beginning to fill back in again, and even though we saw a little lull in the activity over the metro, heavier bands of snow have now developed from Tahlequah off to the northeast. So we're going to keep seeing this stuff accumulating and adding up, not only on the roadways, but obviously on any cars that are sitting outside. Anything that is exposed to the elements is definitely going to be freezing up. We're looking from Tulsa Metro and even down to the south. There's a nice little pocket of drier air that is moving in, but here is this next round. We saw a break for about a half an hour, and it's filling back in again from Sand Springs to Oakhurst, even in Jenks. The light snow showers have been developing, moderate snow showers just down across the south, and still seeing that mixture of freezing rain and sleet that extends right along Interstate 40 from Chakotah to Muskogee, and then it switches all over to snow from around Stillwell to Tahlequah. But we're going to see the sleet developing, which is still going to cause that layer of ice on the road conditions, sidewalks, and even in the parking lots. Right along at least Highway 69 from Eufaula to Crowder. This is where we're still looking at that wintry mix, and it seems to be switching over once again right over Waletka. So we're going to go back and forth in some areas, but there's a warmer layer of air that is off to the east of us. So along Interstate 40 to the south is where that wintry mix is going to continue, at least for the next several hours. Snow totals before the system is all said and done, because we still have another round coming in late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We're looking at totals basically ranging anywhere from 2 inches back to the north over Ponca City, and possibly up to about 6 inches in Sallisaw. We will keep tweaking these numbers as that next round moves into the area. Potential for ice, it's going to be a little thicker, especially down to the south of us along Interstate 40. So Tahlequah, Stillwell, Sallisaw, you have the better chances for ice accumulation. Temperatures, that's the other component to the storm system. The cold front moved through yesterday, but now look at our afternoon highs today. We've been holding steady for most of the day, sitting in the low 20s, and that will continue with that strong northerly wind blowing in. Wind chill readings are just brutal outside. 9 in Okmulgee, 10 in Eufaula and Muskogee, and even Wagner. You're looking at 10 degrees. That's what it feels like when you step outdoors. So if you don't have to go out there, definitely just stay inside tonight, and really probably for the next couple of days. What we're looking at is that the winter storm, as it continues to evolve, this rain, snow, ice, sleet, freezing rain will move off to the east of us, and then this will fill back in again across a large portion of the Sooner State with more snow late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We still have an upper level low and another round of moisture coming our way, so that's just going to add up to even what we've already received on the ground and the roadways. The next 8 days, temperatures are going to be unbelievable. Really, one of the longest cold stretches that we've seen in a number of years. We're looking at afternoon highs, 20s and 30s. There's another system that moves in here on Sunday, which will bring in another round of some snow showers. Then we dry it out. But notice how cold our mornings are going to be. Saturday morning, 4 degrees. And as Mike Collier was talking about, we're looking at the game at Bedlam, kickoff at 11 o'clock, only looking at a temperature of around 10 with wind chills, sub-zero readings. And then another round of colder air coming in by the early part of next week.
All right. Thanks, Jennifer.
All right. We'll be right back.
Once again, I want to remind all you high school football fans, do not get in your car and head to Stillwater tonight. There is no 6A state championship game between Union and Jenks. It has been postponed until next Thursday night. But now the coaches have to get a little creative.
We have to spin this a little bit because you've been telling kids, all week, hey, this is your last Tuesday practice, and now we're going to have another opportunity to practice on Tuesday, but we'll find a way to get motivated against the championship. So, whenever we want to play it, if they told us every year we'd have to wait a week, I'd sign up for it.
Meanwhile, Bedlam will not be postponed, even if the teams have to strap on ice skates. We'll have more on the expected temperatures here in just a second, but if you're thinking the players don't mind playing in the bitter cold, you'd be wrong. The spot on the sidelines that's right next to the space heater is premium real estate.
I got the heater over there. They sit it on the other side of the line, so I'm just trying to get some in. Hey, lean up some so I can feel it. So it's just get next to the heater. I guess that's the tip to staying warm.
Okay, sports is played outside, so I thought I would brave the elements, and I am immediately regretting that decision.
Finally.
What are we looking at Saturday?
Really cold conditions. I mean, it's cold right now.
Yes,
John,
I'm freezing.
It's going to be even colder. Yeah, it's going to be even colder on Saturday. Take my time on this just to torch you a little longer. Here's a look at your forecast for Bedlam. 10 degrees at kickoff. The wind chill at 3 below.
Oh.
North winds about 10 to 15. You got to cover yourself up because some frostbite might be a little bit of an issue as we go towards kickoff. But late in the day, we should be warm into around a balmy be 20 degrees.
So what you're telling me is the idea for the Gatorade bath was a really bad one.
No, it needs to be a hot chocolate bath, you know?
There you go. I'm regretting that decision. Guys, you're warm back in there on the set. Go ahead and take it away. I'm going to do a snow angel out here.
All right.
John, you're going to need more than that on Saturday. That's not going to cut it. Not at all, is it?
No, it's not.
3 below. All right. That's our news tonight. Thanks for watching. Will Fortune up next.
Our weather coverage continues throughout the night and at K2L.com. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.